everyone, welcome back, and this is my review of The Sunday Without God, episode 11, entitled The Class 3-4 Part 2. Alright, so next episode is the last episode, so it's clear that in this episode they're definitely trying to move forward in order to prepare for the climax of this series. But I feel that this final arc is going a little bit too fast, though. Like, last episode, we just arrived in this arc, I think. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, last episode, we just arrived in this arc. Alright, and next episode, we're just going to be finishing it. So, it feels like to me like it's going a little bit too fast, and that is a complaint of mine that the pacing definitely isn't there, I don't think. Alright, however, this episode was still really good. Probably the second best in the series so far, in my opinion. Second only to that one episode previous. I forget which episode it was. It was during the, which arc? It was during the Ordis arc of, episode 6, I believe. Yeah. Which was the perfect episode, and the best episode in the series so far. This episode is not perfect, but I do think it's the second best episode in the series so far, though. We do get a lot more insight on the story, such as that it was actually Dee's fault 14 years ago that this curse happened, because she ended up falling out the window and dying on impact. Alright, and then the class, as they watched her, strongly wished that they could just live their everyday lives forever and ever, which ultimately resulted in this prison that they're in now, of class 3-4. Alright, and Alice actually doesn't know that it's her fault either, and he doesn't, and she tells all of this to Ai, but she makes Ai promise not to tell Alice. Alright. Furthermore, because she was the cause of it, if class 3-4 were to disappear, and that's basically what Alice meant before, a few episodes ago, when he said, "I want to destroy the world." Or I want to save the world by destroying it. He meant he wants to destroy the world of class 3-4. Alright. By destroying it. However, if that happens, and I don't know if Alice realizes this or not, but if that happens, Dee, being the cause of it, will actually cease to exist. I'm not sure if I don't know if cease to exist, but she'll die, though, basically. She'll die again. Alright. And there's actually a conversation that Ai has with Alice. She doesn't tell him this exactly, but she asks him, and he's eavesdropping in on this, and she asks him, what if someone needed to be sacrificed in order to save class 3-4? And he basically says, and of course Ai's referring to Dee, but she doesn't actually say this, and he says, "I honestly wouldn't mind that. I will do anything to save class 3-4. And or something like that. And of course, Dee's eavesdropping in on this, and she says that she kind of already knew this, but this obviously confirms it. Now, here's the thing, though. It could just be that he was being a bit too general with this, because sometimes when people say, "Oh, I'll do anything," they're not literally considering everything, So it could be that he's just being a bit too general with this, or it could be that if he had found out what I was really talking about, he might change his mind. I don't know. It's clear that Dee does have some feelings for him, but she doesn't feel like that could ever come to pass. For one thing, if the world's destroyed, she'll die. And she doesn't feel that Alice really would be willing to change what he wants to do for anything. And that could be true, that could be not true. We don't know for sure yet, though. Alright. And the second thing is, even if she didn't, there's a chance that on the outside world she might still be a ghost, and if that's the case, then obviously they couldn't be together. That's just obvious if she's a ghost, So yeah, and who knows? She might be actually have a solid body. Who knows? But this is just mere speculation at this point. But so yeah. There's also an interesting conversation in this episode that I and Alice have, which is where I says that she strongly wishes that he can save Class 3-4. This is before I's conversation with Dee. And Alice tells her to stop wishing because he feels that people shouldn't wish. They should just do it, Because it's kind of confusing what he's saying, but he basically references like basketball. He loves basketball even though he sucks at it. The reason why he loves it is because he sucks at it, because he keeps missing. He doesn't always make it. He doesn't always succeed with it. And that's really what he's trying to say, is that when you always succeed, it's not as fun as when you fail and then succeed, Or when you wish and your wish just spontaneously comes true, I guess, is also what he was trying to reference there in terms of the wish. Alright. And one of the biggest things I think kind of interesting now is that, and I didn't really consider this before, but when you think about it, it kind of does make sense, is that if July 28th comes around, they will also be permanently caught in the loop. Alright. And whatnot, so they won't be able to save anyone. So I'm not exactly sure what date it's supposed to be now in the series, but they need to make sure that if they want to save Class 3-4, they need to make sure that they can do it now, or not now, but soon, because I assume that the reason why that was brought up is because it's almost July 28th in the series or something, but so they need to do it before July 28th, or they won't be able to do it, basically. So there is a time limit, although we only have one episode left, so if it's going to happen, it's going to happen next episode, probably. So yeah, but so yeah, this episode was really interesting because, it explained exactly why Alice and Dee are enemies, and it explained, okay, what's I going to do? Is she going to try to help Alice still and risk Dee being killed again? Because here's the thing, we don't, obviously, I did not tell Alice the full story when she asked him, what if someone needed to be sacrificed and whatnot. So if Alice knew the full story, would he change his mind? Like, we don't know. Alright, so he might change his mind if he knew the full story, but we don't know for sure, though. So yeah, but anyways, overall, I think I'm done here, though. Episode rating overall, it was a really good episode. I absolutely loved it. Alright, so yeah, my only major complaint was that the pacing does seem way too fast. I think it would have been perfect pacing if they would have just slowed it down a tiny bit and added an extra episode. If they did that, I think the pacing would have probably been perfect. Alright. So yeah. Anyways, overall, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. See you after, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.